It seemed like it was just a few days ago on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Todd Pinkney, one of our P1s who came to our Seattle Kraken expansion draft watch party the other night, asks if Monty the Squirrel's going to use the lawnmower 4.0 to trim his nuts. I was thinking more, how about that? But
How about that?
it's not an unreasonable question.
No, it is not.
Monty the Squirrel. Can we get that done up by the end of the show? And I'm in favor of your mom sewing the costume this time.
You are?
Yes.
Are you watching?
Paula?
She's probably watching.
What's going on back here? They're all laughing back there.
Because then you paused. And I was like, this in favor of her? What?
I know. I heard them bust out laughing. I'm like, what are you?
And then you sewing the costume, and it's like, just disarmed me. I'm like, okay, we're good. She can sew the costume.
I'm in favor of your mom.
What? Say it. Say it.
Stay tuned, sit back, enjoy. Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Absolutely awesome to see you down in Florida, Roddy. Unfortunately, you are at the grind, working. LOL. Enjoy it, man. You deserve it.
How about that?
Listen, please don't feel sorry for me. Darren, do you feel sorry for me when I got to work?
I feel sorry for me.
Exactly. Kind of a life that I could settle into. Real well.
Fun, sun, and surf. It's the Rod Pedersen Show.
Yeah, buddy. Big day, very big day on the RP Show. In a moment, we're going to tell you why. I talked to John Frenzy this morning, and as I said to the Moose before we left the dock here and headed out into the ocean with the program, I said, I could do 2 hours of John Lynch imitations for the next 2 hours. Is that something you'd like to be interested in? Well, let's see. Let's bring him in, the co-host, the Moose, Darren Moose Dupont, on a very exciting day, as I said, Darren, and because this whole show was your idea, your embryo, your star in the sky. Happy Flame Tech Football Friday to you, sir, and why don't you divulge the big news, why we're so excited today?
Yeah, it's our third birthday or third anniversary of the show. So,
How about that?
Ta-da!
Pretty exciting
Right on.
to be able to say that we've been on the air for 3 years today. It was June 3rd, 2019 when we had our maiden voyage, and holy smokes, a lot's happened in 3 years, man. I mean, I look at where we've gone from, starting this on Facebook Live, and live streaming audio with the podcast and everything to, YouTube Live to 1 hour on television to now 4 hours on live national television all across Canada and throughout the United States. That's just, it's been cool. Really awesome.
Yeah, so thank you for the wonderful opportunity, Moose, and being the best boss I ever had. I've said it many times. If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't say it. And yes, happy 3-year birthday to us, and that's our entire crew, and the viewers, the Rod Squad, which is, of course, part of the whole entire deal. And joining us to help us celebrate today, this isn't going to be like past birthday celebrations. We're going to move on to the sports now. We're just going to tell you that today is our 3-year birthday, and that's it. The president of the Edmonton Elks, Victor Quay, is going to be with us today, and Stephen Stamp from Lacrosse Link, as we are on the eve of the NLL Championship. Stephen Stamp will join us tonight, or later on today, to promote the Colorado Buffalo series. The reason I'm just slightly unnerved, just to use the term that Dale Durkach loved so much the other day, they're predicting weather again. And when they say weather, Darren, it's not like the Canadian, it's weather. Okay? Severe tropical storm forecast for this weekend in South Florida. And for a prairie dog like me, yeah, my knees are knocking. Around here, not a big deal. But I'm a little concerned. You see how dark it is over here? Didn't it remind you of a couple Fridays ago? And
yes.
I've got my gear my gear moved in further. In Florida, they call it a lanai. That's what they call the outdoor patio that's screening, a lanai. I call it a line-A. And every time I say that, they giggle uncontrollably. But it's like, maybe you want to keep your gear dry on the line-A. And, and by the way, just with John Lynch, I talked to him on the phone today. Very big day. Happy birthday. We talked about the BC. Are they for real? Are they for real? They can't go with 2 Canadian quarterbacks. That's just dumb. Rod, you need to win. You need to win to sell tickets. It's nothing spectacular, you know. You just need to win games. Have you met the Golden Girls? Are you anywhere near the Golden Girls? I'm like, John, they were old 40 years ago, John. I think they're all passed away. Haven't they? Betty White has.
I wouldn't know.
B. Arthur has. You wouldn't know. Thank you for being a friend. So, yeah, John Lynch sends his regards. Can you hit the quick 6 show horn, please? Whoever's hitting the show horn back there, because, again, Director Jordan is off today. And start spreading the news. I will read a few of these. From Dougal Cameron, a Stampeders fan, he writes in and says, congrats to you, Rod and Dupes, on your 3rd anniversary. I don't do anything until your show is over. Keep up the great work. And that's to the entire crew, too. From Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, happy 3 years, fellas. Happy for you both. An honor to be a part of the journey along the way. You're a big part of it. And, again, to the entire crew, because it's a big crew. Dale in Winnipeg, congratulations. Very happy, as always, to be with you. Jack and me are loving the show. We wish you all the best. To all that make this show the best around. And another from Jason in Red Deer. Just one more comment. Jason in Red Deer. Nothing a good old prairie tornado doesn't have, Rod. Oh, yeah, except all the seawater. I know, right? I don't know. When that storm was swashbuckling us a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, at least in Sask, we're safe. At least we have that. You know? But
yes.
Anyways, we'll get through. I think we'll get through. At least I don't feel like we're going to get electrocuted today. Washed away, maybe, but I've got all the gear up off the floor of the line A, and we're ready to go. Can you hit the quick? Did he hit the show horn? Can you hit it? Did you hit it? Can you hit it again? Would you mind? I wasn't paying attention. Hello? Thank you. Here on the warm-up, we do start with all topics. So we're going to start with Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Western Conference Finals last night. The Avalanche have a 2-0 series lead after a flurry of goals, and a backup netminder led to a 4-0 shutout of the Oilers. Nazem Kadri set up goals by Arturi Lehkonen, Josh Manson, and Mikko Rantanen during a 2:04 span early in the second period. Lehkonen and Manson tallied just 15 seconds apart, and Nathan McKinnon capped the scoring late in the third. Pavel Francouz had a 24-save shutout 2 nights after the Oilers scored 6 times only in a, well, not only, but they lost Game 1. Francouz replaced Darcy Kemper, who sustained an upper body injury in the second period of the opener. I'm laughing because Lynch, the Oilers are done. They're done. They're done. I know they're going back to Edmonton, but they're done. Colorado's too good. They're just too good. Like, he's not just a football guy, but he's a dyed-in-the-wool Oiler fan, too. And I'm like, come on, guy. You got this far as Oiler fans. You don't shut out the lights now. I believe the Oilers have a chance, Darren. I believe they have a chance. Don't you?
Of course they have a chance. The Oilers are still in this. I just want badly to say, you're not in trouble, Rod. So you lose at home. It's just 2-0. But you know what? The saying only applies here. You know, you're not in trouble till you lose at home because it's only been 2 games, okay? There's still lots of time left. It doesn't always apply. But you know what? The Oilers need to find a way to score a few more goals. I thought Mike Smith was pretty good last night. He wasn't good enough. Francouz was a little better, but, man, Kadri, he's been great. McKinnon continues to be great. And that defense, I noticed the Colorados, they're so good with their sticks and neutralizing McKinnon and Draisaitl on the rush. It's like when they make their move against Calgary, against LA, they would open up space. But here, little poke check, puck's gone. Or when Francouz, sticks out his stick, it's gone. So they do things that the Oilers haven't seen yet, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah, 2-0 Colorado heading up to the Alberta Capital. I will say this for our, again, I think it's Bryce that's flying the ship because Jordan's away and Ryan's in the building too. It's getting
Bingo!
dark. The wind is picking up, right? So you guys might be learning on the fly here. Because if I have to unpack everything and move inside, just be ready. Moose, you be ready to talk. You might want to call up the YouTube
Born ready.
feed. Yeah, which, by the way, it is a Flame Tech Football Friday. We'll get to the football. Probably we're going to stretch this warm-up over 2 segments. But I remember when I started doing sports talk on the local radio station. People will find this tough to believe, but I had no idea what I was doing. None. I was scared spitless. I was looking up resources, trying to find textbooks and handbooks, how to host a radio show. None existed, Darren. Maybe I should write one. But all that did was prepare me for this stage now. And but I remember calling John. Maybe I told you this once. I said, John, what? You hosted Sportsline for years. And the last word, John Lynch, how do I do a talk show? You just talk. Yeah, but what about? No, turn the mic on and you just talk. You just talk until people start calling in because, Rod, they will. Danged if he wasn't right. So Lynch has got, he's not just a pretty face. Moving on to point 2, Calgary Flames coach Daryl Sutter is this season's recipient of the Jack Adams Award as the NHL's Coach of the Year. Sutter oversaw the biggest one-year improvement by any team in the NHL, guiding the Flames to the Pacific Division title a year after they missed the playoffs. I had to recognize Daryl for that. He certainly earned it. Even people that don't like the Flames are saying that Daryl Sutter was the Coach of the Year in the NHL. He would obviously hand it in for a shot at the Stanley Cup, for sure. Again, I get tricked a little bit. I'm watching the NHL Network, so I saw Brian Sutter, the 1991 winner of the Jack Adams Award, presented or announce it to his brother Daryl. Did you guys see that, or was that just an NHL Network or TNT thing?
No, we've seen it, or I've seen it. I watched it. I wasn't watching NHL Network, but we saw the clip.
Right. Well, way to go, Daryl. Again, for the Flames, I don't think they need to change much. How much did the Lightning change when they were losing those series? We'd have to talk to their people. What did you change when you got swept by Columbus and all those very bitter playoff losses that you guys had before you achieved the top of the mountain? Go back and study that. I don't think Calgary's got to change a whole lot. They had to feel what it's like to lose and how much it sucks. Not like they didn't know that before, but maybe this was one final kick in the grapes. But with Brian Sutter, if you saw the video of him, I knew that was in his house because I've been in that house, that ranch house at Sylvan Lake. He's only got one artifact on the walls that would have anything to do with hockey. I'm like, Judy, you obviously decorated this place. And she's like, the only thing that Brian has on the wall is his 1991 Jack Adams Award, NHL Coach of the Year. And I was in there December of 2009, and I only remember it because it was right after the 13th Man Grey Cup. And I remember sitting at Brian's long kitchen table. It's like 15 feet long, like out of the movies. And I was there with Curtis Hunt, Sean Sutter, Brian's son, Judy Sutter. I think it was just the 4 of us. And Brian's like, yeah, sits back in his chair. He's like, that's got to be the worst possible way to lose a championship. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Brian. Where it was only a week or 2 after the game, and it still comes up. Stuff like that. So, anyways, moving on. Congratulations. But there would be another coach. If there was a playoff Coach of the Year, it might be Jay Woodcroft. Would you agree?
Yeah, Jay Woodcroft. I mean, you can make a case for all 4 that are left, but the 2 that probably are the most surprising, with Jared Bednar and John Cooper, you kind of expected those teams. They're kind of on a collision course for the Stanley Cup. But with Jay Woodcroft, he's just done phenomenal things turning that team around in the last half of the year. And same with Gerard Gallant in New York. Just yeoman's work there. So great job.
Well, Gerard is a finalist for Coach of the Year, but I know that Jay Woodcroft wasn't. And again, Daryl Sutter won it last night. The wind's picking up. It's blowing the rain into the Line A. So I'm just battening down the hatches here. So far, so good. By the way, our NHL coverage, can I say this? Our Stanley Cup playoff coverage brought to you by Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Find everything you need to know about our services, financing, product information, and more at broncoplumbing.com, the preferred plumbing, heating, and cooling company of the RP show. I don't know if you heard the doors starting to blow open. Point
I heard the
3A.
thunder, too.
The Blue Jays have won 8 games straight after Santiago Espinal delivered 3 hits and 3 RBIs in an 8-3 thumping of the White Sox yesterday. Teoscar Hernandez belted a 2-run homer, and Alek Manoah allowed 3 runs over 7 2/3 innings. How about those Blue Jays? 3B, the Golden State Warriors had one of their patented strong third quarters in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, but the Boston Celtics had the last word. The Celts rode the most lopsided fourth quarter in NBA Finals history, to a 120-108 victory in Game 1 over the Dubs. Point 4. In Ottawa, Scarborough got their first win of the 2022 CEBL season when they defeated the Ottawa Blackjacks 98-81. The Shooting Stars moved to 1-2 on the season, while Ottawa fell to 0-3. The Hamilton Honey Badgers got back in the win column with a 103-85 home victory over the Guelph Nighthawks on June 2nd. It was last night. It marks their 10th straight win over Guelph, as the Honey Badgers have never lost to the Nighthawks before. We've got a couple minutes left in this segment, but it's taken now into year 4 for the CEBL to become part of the public conscious in Canada. 4 years. We just celebrated our 3rd birthday today, but did we not launch the same year as the CEBL? Or they got 1 more year on us?
We are into the first day of our 4th year.
Yeah, so we're right with them. So it's like
them.
it's taken them that long, to get into the national conscience, and maybe it's the same thing with us. I don't know. Here's a teaser on National Donut Day, which at Dunkin' Donuts, if with any beverage you get a free donut today. I'm not sure if Tim Hortons is doing the same thing. I tagged them in my tweet, and they ignored it. Here's your teaser. CFL Pre-Season Week 2, grand opening, grand closing tonight. All Week 2 games are tonight. Ottawa at Montreal, Hamilton at Toronto, Calgary at Edmonton, and Sask at BC. I know for sure the Sask at BC game is televised. I don't know about any of the others. I don't know if TSN's doing a doubleheader or not. But our poll question today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center, Capital with dealerships all across the Canadian prairies, which is the most intriguing game out of the 4 tonight in the CFL? On YouTube, the last I looked, running away with it was the Riders and Lions, 88% of the vote. Not joking. Not joking. Oh, so Calgary-Edmonton now leads? Wow, Calgary-Edmonton storming back. So we got a battle going here. And on Twitter, the last I saw, leading by a nose with the Riders and Lions. So have some fun with that voting, and when we come back, we'll give our own thoughts on that as we move into a Flame Tech Football Friday. Got some NFL notes today. Tua shot back at the critics yesterday. Tua did here at Dolphins OTAs. Talk about that and more. Flame Tech is your industry leader in combustion services. Flame Tech, based out of Saskatoon. You are watching the warm-up of the RP show on the Game Plus television network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. The RP Show brought to you in part by Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. They specialize in improving your company's bottom line and performance through supply chain management services. Check them out, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. The Moose is loose. He's with us. It's interesting. Jeff the Stamps fan has written in and he says Rider fans need to stop voting on these polls with green-colored glasses. They often skew some real storylines. Nope. Other fans of other teams need to start voting on these polls. Rider fans have been doing this for years. It's not their fault, Moose. What would be your take on that?
Yeah, it just shows me the numbers. And the fact that Calgary, Edmonton has stormed back and taken over shows you the growth we've made in that province. You know, I think that's great. We got more viewers from that from Alberta. So, no, the other team's got to vote. Look, no team is going to sit there and say, you and I will, but fan bases simply aren't going to vote for somebody else because it's the better storyline. They're going to vote for their team. They always have. They always will. That's not changing.
Always. Yes, exactly. Andrew, it's like us complaining about federal election results in Western Canada.
Yeah.
It's where all the people are. It's the way that it is. We have to like it or lump it. And elect a right-wing government. Andrew Stout, provincial government, writes in. He says TSN is doing a doubleheader. The Als Red Blacks game will be on TSN before the Rider game. Also, TSN announced they will be showing the CHL playoffs. Merci, Rod. Signed, Stout out. I got the email from the Western Hockey League that indeed the Western Hockey League Championship Series opens tonight in Edmonton. Games 3 to 7 will be broadcast on TSN, so bravo. Farmer in Saskatchewan. I don't know how to answer this. Farmer in Saskatchewan. Adam is his name. Right, and it says, is anyone else surprised that offensive lineman Maurice Simba and wide receiver Paul McRoberts Jr. were cut? Now, he's talking about the Riders, but he has to understand we've got fans clearly of all the teams that are watching right now. I wasn't surprised because I couldn't pick Maurice Simba out of a lineup. I couldn't. And although I think Paul McRoberts could have been the next Matt Dominguez, I don't know. We have not kicked off week 1 in the Canadian Football League yet, and vis-a-vis, everybody's in first place. Everybody's tied at donut. So I'm not willing to throw anybody under the bus or even make any predictions right now as to who's going to make the playoffs or who isn't. But this is, I'll tell you what, if a guy is included in your team's first round of cuts, Moose, they're pretty sure that they don't want him around. And we don't know what goes behind these cuts. We don't know them personally. So I want to get to my NFL story before we come back to whatever everybody else wants to talk about, because the CFL preseason 4 games tonight was 0.5. Here's 0.6. Place line, Miami Gardens, Florida. It's about 40 miles south of where I'm sitting right now. Tua Tagovailoa hit speedy wide receiver Tyreek Hill with 2 long completions during the Dolphins minicamp practice on Thursday, and afterward, Tua hit back at his critics. The third-year quarterback, aware that there are often questions about his arm strength and deep passing ability on social media and in the media, went on the offensive about his abilities following the practice. Tua told reporters, yeah, if you saw the third to the last play we had, I don't know if I could throw the ball downfield still, but by my account, I think I might have had a touchdown to Tyreek. So however you want to write down any of that to social media or whatever outlet you guys are with, you do so. Mic drop. Tua's 2 highlight passes to Hill were 55 yards for a touchdown, the second one for 56 yards. But Tua had no completions of 50 yards or more as a rookie in 2020, and last season had only 2. New Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel said his quarterback's arm is plenty strong enough to complete long passes. Heading into his 3rd season, there are questions as to whether Tua will be the Dolphins' starting quarterback for the long term. Through it all, comments or criticism or even praise, Tua says he's blocking out the noise. Easy to say, tough to do. I think, found the secret to doing that, but it's only taken 48.5 years. Do you believe Tua when he says he's blocking out all the noise and the haters?
No, I don't. For a sec, I don't.
No.
I think he's trying, but the fact that he's addressing it means he's not blocking it out, right? The moment he stops addressing it and just keeps moving on means he's kind of blocking it out and found a way to move on. So he's still acknowledging the haters by bringing it up, but I think he's wanting right now to prove them wrong. That's the situation he's at. He's not at the point of blocking them out. He's at the point of he wants to prove them wrong and throws the ball down the field. I think Tyreek's going to help with that. And I think, Tua with a chip on his shoulder is a dangerous football player.
Any football player with a chip on their shoulder is a dangerous football player. Tom Brady, Tom Edward Brady, Bo Levi Mitchell, Cody Fajardo, the list goes on and on and on. I'll say it again for those that weren't listening yesterday. You people in the CFL that want to dig at Bo and say he doesn't have it anymore, keep doing it, man, because all you're doing is digging your own grave. All you're doing is pissing him off more. That's what they don't understand. By the way, on Twitter right now, the poll question for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, which is the most intriguing CFL preseason game tonight of the 4? Still on Twitter, leading the way is Saskatchewan at BC. They got 46% of the vote, but hot on their heels, Calgary at Edmonton. 1 of 10 polls reporting on that one. From Larry B. in Edmonton, he says, TSN has Montreal at Ottawa, followed by BC home to Sask doubleheader tonight. Sean watching in Vancouver, BC on Game Plus Television. Football Friday. The new hash marks for the CFL. Is it just me, but how does this make any difference? The width of the field is the same. Is this a move to start making the field smaller and move to 4 downs? Also, go Riders tonight. Yeah, everybody's excited about Football Friday today for Flame Tech. Now, don't tell anybody, but although I spent 20 years in the CFL, I don't fashion myself as a football guy at all, and I'm very much enjoying the move to hockey. So the other night, like pretty much full time, but I did watching the Rider game the other night, I didn't notice the hash marks. If there was new markings on the ice, I think I would notice. Like at Estevan at the Centennial Cup, they didn't have a trapezoid. I felt like saying to the guys I'm with, no trapezoid in Junior A? But I'll just shut up. Did you notice the new hash marks on the field the other night?
No, I really didn't either. I mean, it will affect the game a little bit, but not a lot. And maybe it's the start. It's the gateway to making the field smaller and going to 4 downs, but I don't know about that. Again, I think it's such a small change. I don't think it's really going to play a factor and really affect the product we see on the field. I really don't.
Well, for the viewer, Sean, in Vancouver, that does make a huge difference. Ask the quarterbacks. Ask that Canadian wideout over there, Rob Bagg, that never sees the ball thrown to him over there, Jake Hardy. And when they do, it's a surprise. All of a sudden, that field wide receiver, as they call him, it becomes a factor in the football game because it's not as wide of a throw. Would they narrow it by 8 yards? So you're basically 4 yards closer. That's a significant amount, a very significant amount. If you want to know what the difference is, it's that. And there was one coach, as you know, who said to me that in the 70s, Rad, the way they say it, he's in Texas, he said when the NFL did it, the rushing stats went way up. And he explained that to me, and he lost me. And to be honest with you, you can't evaluate any of these preseason games based on that. Maybe they're handing the ball off 20 times in the preseason because they want to get a look at this tailback and see if he can handle the load. Right? What's happening in these games this week is no indication of what's going to happen in the regular season. But do you expect a change in, let's just say, rush versus pass stats because then hash marks are narrower? This coach says there will be.
Well, yeah, I mean, it becomes more balanced, right? So the field becomes more balanced. Your offensive formations become more balanced. You're not necessarily looking to go one way or the other. So it's a little less predictable for defenses, right? When you don't know if they're going to go left or right, especially running the football when you've got more room out to one side typically, and now you don't anymore. So, yeah, you could see that, a little more options, a little more deception and play calling. So there's some opportunities there. And, of course, the coaches will find ways to exploit this.
Yeah, well, of course, they stay up at night finding ways to exploit this. But the one thing with that coach, he said rushing stats went way up, but he didn't say that they surpassed passing stats attempts. Right. You know what I mean? So yeah. It bears following, and it's fun to talk about. Ward in Winnipeg, Bomber fan, writes in, he says, congratulations, Rod, Moose, and gang, on an excellent daytime sports talk show. Go Bombers! From Metal Shingle Guy, happy 3rd, and happy birthday, John. He said, is that sunroom metal? No. This Line A is made of wood. And by the way, in Florida, they call it a lanai. You know Bob, the infamous Bob from Montreal? He's got a place down here. And he's been coming here since he's in high school. One of my closest friends introduced him to Darren during the Stanley Cup in Montreal last summer. And he's like, I call it a Line A, and he looks at me like I'm the biggest idiot ever. It's a lanai. Rot. I've never heard of these things before, and I'm very much enjoying my first summer in Florida. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Jeff the Stamps fan says you would notice the new hash marks at McMahon because the old ones are still there. They are the same in every stadium. Every stadium that's housing pro Canadian football and amateur Canadian football has, I guess you would say, what? 4 sets of hash marks? 2 pairs of hash marks? Like, it's a little busy. But as they say, a lot of American stadiums have the same. Phil Miller watching in YouTube in the chat, he says, wow, in the first preseason game, the hash marks change was huge. And I'm like, really? I didn't even notice. But that's just me. Like I say, at the Centennial Cup, I noticed that the trapezoid was gone behind the nets for the goalies, and I wonder how many people would notice that, unless you were a dyed-in-the-wool hockey person. Craig Drebbett in Calgary says, I've been a stamped season ticket holder for over a dozen years, and I didn't notice the new hash marks at all until my dad pointed it out. Meanwhile, William in Lloydminster watching, he says, Rod, you can't notice it if your eyes are closed. I wasn't sleeping. I was watching the game. By the way, when I talked to John Lynch, he says 12,000. 12,000. They said there was 12,000 at the rec. Get out of town, 12,000. There might have been 6. That from John Lynch. What? What a great talk we had
I just
today,
missed
Moose.
that guy. Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah. From Jack Fulton in Alberta, I don't know about other sports voting polls. What I do know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the RP Show is the GOAT of live sports talk shows.
How about
Mic
that?
drop, says Jack. And from Craig Campbell, Hockey Hall of Fame, congrats on your 3rd year of the show. Informative and entertaining. Thanks to all we see and those behind the scenes. Thank you, Craig, and I'll thank you again for the pizza that he sent for our Sim Grey Cup last year. Moose, I'll see you back here in hour 2. What do you say?
Awesome. See you then.
All right. The president of the Edmonton Elks, Victor Cui. Oh, Victor's top of hour 2. Oh, Moose is with us next. Okay, I thought Victor Cui was next. I guess Moose is sticking with us. Well, that's fun, too. And we got a sports update coming up. It's the RP Show you're watching on the Game Plus television network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Hey, everybody. Storm rolling in here in South Florida. You'll notice it's not the normal look, but that's okay. So far, holding at bay. Before we bring the Moose back, and by the way, apologies to you, Producer Clark. I didn't read your message closely enough. Victor Cui, Hour 2, the president of the Edmonton Elks. A sports update before we get to the Moose. Game 2 of the NHL's Eastern Conference Final between the New York Rangers and two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning will be played tonight at MSG. The Rangers lead the series 1-0 following a 6-2 thumping in Wednesday's opener. The Edmonton Oilers regrouping today after falling 2 games down in the Stanley Cup Western Conference Final against Colorado. The Avs blanked the Oilers 4-0 in Denver. Thursday, Colorado goalie Pavel Francouz stopped 24 shots for the shutout. Game 3 will be played Saturday in Edmonton. The Blue Jays throw lefty Yusei Kikuchi on the mound today for the start of a 3-game series with the Minnesota Twins at Skydome. The Twins will counter with Chichi Gonzalez. Toronto thumped the White Sox 8-3 Thursday to extend their win streak to 8. Blue Jays have won 12 of their last 15 games. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room, your official home of Slow Pitch. Open Wednesday to Sunday for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, where you'll never need to ask to have the CFL game put on. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Okay, bringing the Moose back in. Moose, I really wonder if you are as big of a fan or a historian as I am when it comes to sports. Like, for instance, last night, Nazem Kadri has 3 assists. That tied him with a Colorado/Quebec Nordique franchise record shared by Risto Siltanen, set in 1987 with the Quebec Nordique, and Joe Sakic in 1996 with the Colorado Avalanche. And those 3 assists came in, I think it was 2 minutes and 14 seconds. The NHL record was a guy by the name of Joe Malone, and he did it in 1914. Joe Malone. And Toe Blake did it twice. 3 assists in a period. Toe Blake! And he did it in under 2 minutes. Kadri did it 2 minutes and 14 seconds last night. But I can't get enough of that stuff. Like I said, Philip Hedl the other night, only 4 guys in Rangers history have scored more goals in the playoffs before the age of 23. Ron Duguay, Alexei Kovalev, Don Murdoch, and Don Maloney. Like, is that just because I'm old, or do you have that sense of history? Do you like it as much?
No, I think it's real. I think it's really cool. I really do. I think the history is awesome, and we don't pay enough attention to that part of the game. And remembering some of the old great players that have been through. And no, I do like it. Probably not as much as you, but that's okay. And but I do like it.
I think it's why. I don't know. I think I read it. And then I go back in my mind to my life then and how much I loved the Stanley Cup playoffs. I mean, I love them now, but back then I used to tape the games on a VCR to watch in the summertime because I knew I was going to miss hockey in July and August. And I think people keep, CFL games and NFL games on their PVR now, right? Same thing to watch in the off season, but it just reminds me of that. And I think that's why people enjoy hearing from John Lynch so often because his voice reminds them of their youth calling Rough Rider games on CKCK radio. William in Lloydminster says the Rider game, I only saw 1 set of hash marks. I don't know. We got to go back and look at the highlights, I guess. The big board. I didn't notice. But, I mean, they were practicing all training camp with the narrower hash marks. Okay, Jeff the Stamps fan says, Rod, there are not 2 sets of hash marks, only 1 set. I don't know because I'm not there. Somebody help me out. But where are the Dinos and the Colts going to play this year? The Colts are playing somewhere else, are they not? Like, what about these amateur teams that have not narrowed their hash marks? Can somebody give me a ruling here?
Yeah, I'm going to have to send a note in. I'm going to have to maybe message Mark McConkey and find out, or Wayne Harris in Calgary, because I was under the impression there was going to be 2 sets in those buildings. You know, obviously UBC doesn't play. They play up on campus. The Alberta Golden Bears play on campus. Calgary Colts play somewhere else. But for Regina and Winnipeg too, Manitoba, the Bisons, they play in IG Field. So there's 3 teams there in Calgary, Regina, and Manitoba that play in the same field as the CFL team. So I was expecting 2 sets.
Nelson Hackowich, who would know, he says the Riders spray paint over the existing hash marks. All other teams paint their lines every week. I feel like this is such a Canadian thing that we're debating here right now. But so the Riders paint the existing ones, the old ones green, so you don't see them, and they paint new ones, so there's only 1 existing set. And then I guess when the Rams come and play, because they're under the old rules, they wash off the watercolor. What happens if it rains? Has anybody thought about that?
Just a lot of paint on top of a lot of paint, layers of paint.
Listen, you have to understand something, folks. You have to understand something. I know I sit here and laugh about how dumb I am, but I do think ahead. Like, for instance, I had a hair transplant, I don't mind saying, and there's a scar across the back of my head. Darren's seen it. You didn't know what it was from. You thought that I got smoked by a swather blade. Isn't that what you said? You thought it was a swather blade accident. I'm like, no, it was from this surgery. Yeah. And so the ladies that did it, they said, we can tattoo that brown so that it doesn't show up. The scar doesn't show up. And I said, what happens when my hair turns gray and white? And they went, they didn't have an answer, and they do this for a living. I said, no, I'll be fine. Because as the dad said in the ranch, Bo, he says, who's looking at the back of my head anyway? I don't see that. Who cares? When he said that on that show, The Ranch, I was like, my spirit animal, Sam Elliott, Bo, from The Ranch. Bo Bennett. Anyways, Robin in Prince Albert writes in from the Sticks. He says, Rod, Moose, Clark, and the crew, congrats on the last 3 years. Love the show. Watching since day 1. Keep up the great work, guys. Making morning TV watchable again.
How about that?
Thank you, Robin. I appreciate you saying that. Guy got out of his car the other day at Dunkin' Donuts yesterday. He had a Trump-Pence bumper sticker. He had a MAGA hat on. And he was a young guy in a muscle shirt, and I was like, I was looking to see the year on this. I'm like, is this 2024, Trump? No, it was 2020. So we'll see if the Don circles back around for another run at it, another run for the roses. You wouldn't believe the amount of Trump stuff you see here, man. I'm telling you. And a lot of signs that say, Trump won! We'll be back with viewer takeover, everybody, and more of your questions and comments. You're watching a Flame Tech Football Friday on the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube Live, and if you missed any portion of the show, you can always catch the podcast wherever the best podcasts are found, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Taco Time Viewer Takeover, and I'm going to tell you something about Taco Time in a minute, but we got a couple breaking news items here today. If we can bring the moose back on the screen. Thanks, guys. Taco Time Viewer Takeover. One moose from Pro Football Talk. And I don't know if Mike Florio runs their account or not. My guess is he doesn't. He's the owner and founder of it. He still writes for it. But from Pro Football Talk, the NFL joins the rest of the USA in declaring COVID to be over. Whether it actually is doesn't really matter. That's the exact tweet. Yeah, from Pro Football Talk. Now, hey, if that's true, cool. I love it. That's awesome. But tell the NBA that, who had 2 announcers sacked because of COVID. Mike Bream and Jeff Van Gundy, both Jeff or his brother, whoever it is, Stan knows Jeff, both missed games in the Eastern Finals because they tested positive for COVID. So I'm with the NFL. If COVID's over, I'm all for it. That's just what they're saying today. And out of Tempe, Arizona, the Tempe City Council has voted to negotiate with the Arizona Coyotes on a proposed development of nearly $2 billion that would include a new arena for the franchise. The council voted 5-2 in favor of a 7-hour meeting Thursday night that included comments from more than 100 citizens and the reading of more than 220 written statements. Blah, blah, blah. Coyotes have a lengthy presentation for a 46-acre tract of land west of downtown Tempe that would include an arena, hotels, retail, offices, and housing. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said via video call that he endorsed the plan without reservation, but said a 30-year no relocation agreement would be required. So I'm no expert in this, just like I'm no expert in labor relations, nor do I believe are you. But this can't be seen as anything other than positive. And the Coyotes have tweeted a photo of the proposed arena, and it looks very similar, I would say, to the Vegas arena. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, T-Mobile Arena. So, hey, it's going the right way. Better than being voted down, right?
That's right. It's moving in the right direction. I love projects like this. Everybody wants to come in and take over the great team. I think it's tremendously exciting because, if you can find a way to get that market excited about hockey and get the Coyotes to prominence and actually win some games, it could be really fun down there in the desert. People are flooding there. The population's growing like crazy. So there's a lot of good things happening. The thing that probably scares them a little bit is a 30-year, relocation agreement or non-relocation agreement, which is like, when you sign the 30-year mortgage or the 40-year mortgage or the 25-year mortgage, it's like, you know what? I can always sell this at any time, right? Might lose a little money, might make a little money, but I can always sell it. 30 years, man, that's a big commitment. No matter how bad it gets, you're not going to move the team. So that might be a little bit of a hang-up.
Well, I've spent a lot of time there and around that franchise, and my friends in the Valley say if they put a product on the ice, we'd have no problems. What did John Lynch say? I quoted him right off the top of the show. All you have to do is win. You just got to win, and then you sell tickets. It's nothing spectacular. Meanwhile, the Coyotes are the worst team in the Western Conference again. So hopefully they get to work on that. From the viewers, regarding the 3-year birthday of our show today, is today we start year 4. Just like our friends at the CEBL. Devin Pacilo, watching in Burns Lake, British Columbia, says, morning all you happy people. Congrats on the 3-year anniversary. Last minute of play in hour 1. Last minute of play. Congrats on the 3-year anniversary. Keep her going. Have a great weekend. To the moon. From Devin Pacilo in Burns Lake, BC. From Craig Drevitt in Calgary. Loving how established the CEBL has become and how it's growing. Just goes to show that it takes a lot of time and continued effort to get a league supported. Tonight is Newfoundland's first game, and I'm really enjoying how successful Montreal has been so far. Proud to be rocking my Edmonton Stingers lid in the office today. Happy anniversary, Craig in Calgary. What are we at? 15 seconds. From Metal Shingle Guy regarding the narrower hash, he says the short side is wider now. DB needs to play straight up instead of using sideline in their coverage. Thank you. Hour 2, Victor Quee right after this timeout on Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Smoky in the air, that's
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Absolutely awesome to see you down in Florida, Roddy. Unfortunately, you are at the grind. Working. LOL. Enjoy it, man. You deserve it.
How about that?
Listen, please don't feel sorry for me. Darren, do you feel sorry for me when I got to work?
I feel sorry for me.
Exactly. Kind of a life that I could settle into. Oh, yeah.
Fun, sun, and surf. It's the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome to Hour 2 of the RP Show, everybody. We've got the fun and the surf down, but not the sun. Tropical storm rolling in here as we roll into Hour 2 of the RP Show. But we seem to be getting through just fine on this Flame Tech Football Friday. Week 2 in the CFL Pre-Season opens and closes tonight with 4 games. We're talking about that. The Western Hockey League Championship opens tonight, coincidentally, also in Edmonton. Tua Tagliavoa here in Miami has shot back at the critics at the Dolphins OTAs. We're going to talk about that. And it is our 3-year birthday today of the RP Show.
How about
Episode
that?
number 771. Yeah, is today as we kick off year 4. Live on Game Plus television, available all across Canada and in Alberta on TELUS Optic TV. Check your cable listings. And in 31 U.S. states. And we've been talking about hash marks, too, and I'll get into that. But let's bring in the president of the Edmonton Elks, Victor Cui. I'm just so happy to have him on a game day. Look, he's ready to rock, ready to roll. The field looks good. Hey, Victor, how you feeling about your first home game as president of the Elks? How are we looking?
RP, feeling pretty good, and congratulations on your anniversary. That's huge. That's a big milestone. But we got good weather
Thank you,
here
brother.
compared to you. Sunny over here, so it should be a good day.
Well, I want to, before we go any further, Victor, I want to say namaste. The light in me recognizes the light in you, because I look at what you're doing with this game tonight and with this football team, and it just warms my heart, particularly with the Stand With Ukraine night tonight. Can you talk about how that's, give me the details if you don't mind, the genocide, we know where it came from, but how you rolled this out.
Well, we've created a whole new ticket category. Any seat in the house is $15. Net proceeds from that $15 ticket is going to go to supporting the cause of Ukraine, specifically to the Canadian-Ukrainian Foundation. Helps Ukrainians that are relocated to Edmonton to settle into the city. To me, this was a no-brainer. It's our preseason game. The Ukrainian community is very, very vibrant and an important part of our community. We're a community-owned team. This is exactly the kind of things where we need to show leadership and rally the community together to come and gather on a great Friday afternoon, enjoy a little bit of football, but to really raise awareness to the cause and enjoy coming together as a city.
Yeah, and I think tragically, I think we're at 100 days of war, too. How has this, of that particular war, how has this been received by the Ukrainian community? Obviously, you've been in touch with them.
Oh, it's been huge. You know, we put together this working committee in basically 48 hours over a weekend. okay, from Saturday morning. By Monday, we had the first committee call, and on it read like the who's who of the city. We had former Premier Ed Stalmack as the co-chair, with Ian Murray as our co-chair, and every other business leader in the community, from the Ukrainian consulate to business leaders that were Ukrainian or not Ukrainian, just supporting the cause and really doing what they could. We had all three levels of government participate with it, and hopefully it results in a full, a good night in the stadium. I think one of the things I'm a little bit concerned about is we had a lot of businesses really support it, and they bought tickets on bulk. So they came and they're like, well, I want to buy 100 tickets. I want to buy 500 tickets and distribute it to their staff and to their friends. So that always makes me a little bit uneasy, because you don't know if the tickets are actually going to result in bums and seats. But hopefully everyone comes out.
I was going to say, what would be your guesstimate right now of what you're going to have tonight at Commonwealth?
Well, so far today, I mean, typically a preseason game for us is only 3,000-4,000, like a couple thousand people, right? Right now, we've sold over 32,000 tickets.
Wow. Well, congratulations on that, because you'll be turning a lot of money over. And I hope they do come out, because it looks like a beautiful night, as you say. Now, I got to say this. Edmonton, a flagship CFL community. And what I'm hearing from my friends up there is, who's our quarterback going to be? And I'm like, guys, you got Nick Arbuckle. I guess he shone in Winnipeg last week. That game wasn't on television, Victor, but I think he's your guy. How involved do you get in the locker room? Is Nick the guy? How are we feeling about the quarterback position with the Edmonton Elks?
Well, I don't get involved with it because we have a genius at the helm with Coach Jones, and he knows what's going on. I sit there and I'm just trying to be a sponge, absorbing everything him and the coaching team are doing. I mean, Nick was fantastic. He was 9 for 10 in Winnipeg, and but also Trey Ford was like, he was so athletic. Everyone talks about his athleticism, but when you see him up close and what he does, it's like art. He makes the sport look beautiful. And so I think we're in a good into this. Our quarterbacks know that they have got to come and show and earn their spot in the team. About that. But I think more importantly, with the team is this renewed energy and a desire to win and go the whole way. We had one of our doctors who has been with us for 30 years, on the sideline. And after the Winnipeg game, he came to me and he said, Victor, the energy with the team feels completely different this year. It's just everyone's excited. You can hear them support each other, and he says I can't explain it, I can't quantify it, but there's an energy that I feel as somebody that's standing by the bench for the last 30 years, and it's completely different. So that really fills me with a lot of optimism.
Of course, and that's why I brought up the light, because frankly, when people asked how you and Jones would get along, and then I understand it's been famously, I've known Chris so well. I mean, he just wants the championship mindset. You have that. And then Duron Carter. Throw Duron in there. He's a great buddy of mine, too. He fits right in. So I think it's very exciting with what you guys got going up there in Edmonton. And I saw that Trey Ford was on your podcast this week with Morley. I saw your videos with Warren Moon and Paul Coffey promoting tonight's game. So, Victor, there's some exciting things going on there, man. How hyped are you for this game, like just getting it rolling starting tonight?
It is pretty exciting. I can't deny it. And quite honestly, I look behind here and I don't take this for granted. I understand the privileged role that I'm in and to be a part of this team. And I'm excited and pumped every day. Like it is an unbelievable feeling. But the city has been so supportive. Like I'll be driving my car and we stop at a stoplight and somebody will come next to me. They're like, yeah, Elks. And I love that people are starting to feel that again. And considering that we've got Oilers in the playoff, that's all anybody's thinking about. The fact that today on a preseason game, we've got more attendance than we've ever had. Is just amazing.
It is absolutely amazing. Listen, and I know you're busy. I will let you go. Good luck tonight. Good luck with the season. I know you're going to win tonight because that's what Jones does in the preseason. We're following closely. Victor, thanks for the time, and keep it going, man. It's so much fun to watch.
Thank you, sir. Happy anniversary again. Look forward to speaking soon.
Appreciate it. Good luck. Victor Cui, the president of the Edmonton Elks. And listen, how can you not get hype with that? And just go to their Twitter account, which is Go Elks, and you'll see all those videos, man. And I just trying to decide which team to get behind. The last couple of years, quite frankly, has been Winnipeg for me, with Richie Hall, their defensive coordinator, and Zach Caleros, their quarterback, and all my friends over there. But I think we can move on past Winnipeg now. They've won 2 championships. I got to think it's Edmonton.
How about
But then
that?
I go to Calgary and look at the Stamps and look what Dave Dickinson's done and look what he's done for our show and Huff coming down and those coaches, the 2 marks that were on the program. Like, there's a lot of excitement and energy around the Calgary Stampeders. And the BC Lions have been so great to us. Their GMs have been on. Rick Campbell's been on. And it's exciting, man. How can you not listen to Victor Cui talk and not get excited? And by the way, Jason in Red Deer writes in. And again, I prefer, believe it or not, to not argue. I know that's hard to believe, but I don't like to argue. So when Jeff the Stamps fan says there's clearly only one set of hash marks at McMahon Stadium, I'm like, okay, whatever. I wasn't at the game. I didn't see the field. If you want, Clark, if you have a free hand, go into the 902 text line, and Jason Bisick in Red Deer sent in a picture of the field. He's like, there's clearly 2 sets of hash marks at McMahon. I'm like, leave me out of this, man. I'm in Miami. But yes, there's clearly 2 sets of hash marks at McMahon Stadium. Jeff, what were you into Grandpa's cough medicine at the game last Saturday? Allie Hicks is writing from Edmonton, or specifically Sherwood Park, Alberta, the home of Sam Steele. And Allie says, happy 3 years RP show staff. Congratulations. Cheers to many more anniversaries. Have a great weekend. Wayne in Victoria, BC. Congrats, Rod and crew, for a great 3 years on television. I remember watching that first show and being blown away that I could comment live and interact with other watchers. It was fantastic, and I'm still watching almost every day. Thanks again for the entertainment and information you provide. Yeah, the text line is humming. Dawn, our Navy friend, Don Mitchell, says, I'm late to the party here. Congratulations on 3 years broadcasting the only Canadian-focused sports show in North America. You bet, as I sit here wearing a Dolphin shirt. And that's the rub that Darren and I talk about every day for hours, is moving forth the content. Because you see that it's growing across Canada, obviously, but it's certainly growing in America. And it's like they cannot get enough NFL talk in America. They can't get enough. It's like Canada and hockey. They can't get enough. So it's like, how much time do we devote to all these leagues? But when I keep getting all these messages from the leagues and the teams, and guys like Victor Cui saying, thanks for promoting us because nobody else is, how do you not follow that rule? We always conclude it to this. Let's keep doing exactly what we're doing. Jack in Calgary, Vulcan, Alberta specifically. Jack writes in and he says, hi, Rod. I could really care less about hashmark placing or some of the minor rule changes. I just want great football in the CFL. Just my opinion. Well, I could sit here on my own and kick this around all day, but after this break, we'll bring the Moose back in and maybe he has some thoughts on this. It's guys like Victor Cui, okay, that need to be calling the shots because there's excitement, there's hype. He just said there's 32,000 fans minimum going to be at the game. At least there's 32,000 tickets out. And I'll be honest, Tuesday night in Saskatchewan, and they changed the rules because they think that's the problem. scoring was down, and I can't remember the year now, but it was since 74. Last year was the lowest scoring year in the Canadian Football League since 1974. Let's go change 9 rules. Is that going to sell more tickets? Or guys like Victor Cui shaking it up? What would you rather have? Ward in Winnipeg. He says, question for Rod and Moose. If they move the hash marks closer to center field, won't that open up more space on the field? Yes, we've been through this. We talked about it when they did it. I'm not going back to that. Stop. From our former intern, Alan, the Asian sensation. Remember Alan? There's a few photos in here, Clark. If you, Alan says, happy birthday to the RP show and their 3rd birthday. Thank you, Alan. I see we've taught you well. Happy birthday to the Rod Pedersen show and their 3rd birthday. He was our mascot, Ricky, the iguana, for quite some time. We got to get that mascot out again. I mean, again, go to the Elks Twitter feed and look at it, and it's at Go Elks, and you'll see the videos there from Warren Moon and Paul Coffey promoting tonight's preseason game. When the Riders in the canceled season, the CFL in the canceled season, were trying to find a way to drum up money because they were going broke, and they're crying to the government for more money, and they're out, got their hat in their hand, asking sponsors for money. Then I heard about this campaign that they're going to run to tug at the heartstrings of Canadians and CFL pride and national pride. I'm like, oh, yeah. I can see it now. I can see it. I can see videos of Chris Jones with the Cleveland Browns. I can see video, like just little selfie videos. Cameron Wake with the Dolphins and whoever. Marv Levy, Bud Grant. I could see it. Come on. You can see Jones. Best years of my life. We're in the CFL. Dig deep, Canada. We need your help now more than ever before. And they come out with the CFL Grey Cup fan base. What? But they survived, so who the hell am I? Craze32 on YouTube writes in and says, the city is so supportive because Victor Cui is out promoting and selling and building that excitement off the field, and Chris Jones will build it on the field. Right? From my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat. She says, Victor's making it totally affordable for the family outing. That's the key. What does Lynch say? Not that spectacular. Let's come back with Moose after this. And we'll get into everything. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday. Flame Tech, your industry leader in combustion services. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network. Streaming on YouTube Live and 24-hour sports radio. Streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Back, everybody. Welcome. Don't mind me. I'm just tweeting something. Let's bring in the Moose, if we don't mind. The Moose.
What are you tweeting?
What are you smiling about?
I am just in a great mood. I don't know.
Me too.
Me too. I'm in a great mood. So give you an idea, I'll sit and watch the show in the breaks, or I'll take a call, or I'll do a little work. But I mean, it's just all here. 3 years on the show, and everything that's going on. I don't know. I'm in a really good mood. We're just, good.
You're having one of those moments, are you? Okay, I wondered.
That's right.
I am, because it's Friday. The world is in the palm of our hands. It's our oyster, Moose.
That's right.
But, I mean, the comments that are coming in about Victor Cui and the CFL and the Elks and this game tonight, 32,000 tickets sold for tonight's Stand With Ukraine preseason game. And the guy is something else. And when I said namaste to him, he knew what I was saying. The light in me recognizes the light in Victor. And I just want to say this because people really wondered about Chris Jones and how well Victor Cui and Chris Jones will get along. And I don't think people understand. The light in me recognizes the light in Chris Jones and Duran. Have you ever heard the phrase, birds of a feather stick together? Your vibe attracts your tribe. From what I knew about Victor, I could see that him and Jones would get along just well. And they are just fine. And they are primed for winning. So to the viewers here, Arlen Bruce III, where did it go? AB3. Here he is. Arlen Bruce III, CFL great receiver. He said, what are the procedures or guidelines on being in a position like Victor Cui, so this energy can spread across the league? Happy anniversary, RP and Moose. That's from Arlen Bruce. Happy anniversary, of course, is to everybody. The guides and procedures are applying for the job. I don't know what went into hiring. I knew people that were on the short list, but they would have done a great job too. But one thing that really tipped the scales for Victor was that he was an Edmonton guy. That's what I heard.
That helps. being a community guy and being in that market and understanding it and wanting to come back and really give back to the community and having some built-in relationships, that all helps for sure. So that's, it's just seems like such a great fit.
Well, and not to mention his one fighting UFC league, or it's not UFC league, MMA league. There's a difference. That's like the difference between hockey and NHL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a difference. The guy, go look him up on Twitter. He's got like 300,000 Twitter followers. He's very accomplished. He knows what he's doing. Craze32 in the chat says, listening to Victor Cui might even be enough for John Lynch to cheer for the Elks tonight. And at that point, the earth will stop spinning and the skies will fall. It would take probably more than Victor Cui. Victor Cui would probably have to show up on John Lynch's doorstep with a cake or something. And even then, he hates Edmonton, the football team. But he's an Oilers fan. Figure that one out.
Yeah.
Jack Fulton from Vulcan, Alberta says 33,000 tickets sold for a CFL Pre-Season game. Outstanding. Hire this man to be VP of Marketing in the CFL. Wow. Love it. Randy from Winnipeg watching says, so if it's your 3rd anniversary and it's National Donut Day, how many are you allowed? I botched this one, Moose. I botched it. I was at Dunkin' Donuts. I was at Dunkin' Donuts yesterday, and I didn't get a donut. I just saw the sign that said June 3rd, National Donut Day. I took a picture of it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not going to get a donut today. And then I haven't been out of the house today. And I don't think I'm going to go get a donut today, but I feel like a real failure if I don't have a donut on National Donut Day, especially since I'm a donut guy. So I botched it.
Well, day's not over, Rod.
You going to have a donut?
The day's not over. You know what? I'll probably go down and have a donut. I'll probably walk down to Tim's. It's not far from where I'm doing the show right now. So maybe go for a walk.
Yeah. Good call. Well, it's raining. It's supposed to be tropical storm. Like, I'm the only guy panicking. It's like, oh, yeah, 55-mile-an-hour winds. Just, it's red, on the alert thing. Take cover, but no big deal.
Everybody else is like, it's a Friday.
It's a Friday. From our VP of Sim Events, Nelson Hackowicz, he says, Victor is the John Candy of this CFL's next evolution. Let's tear that apart a little bit. Not destroy it. Let's dissect that comment a little bit. When I think about the criticism that I face from CFL people, I snicker and laugh a lot, and I think there are very few of them in the league anymore that have been around this league longer than me. Because my first season was 1991, on the sidelines, and when people said to me after I left the Rider job, and it was in COVID, and people were, remember all those questions, Rod, what's the most interesting place you've ever been? Who's the most interesting person you've ever interviewed? I had to think about it for a minute, and it was John Candy, because he came in with the Argos and Bruce McNall. Gretzky wasn't there, and I was very upset that Wayne Gretzky wasn't there. But I interviewed John Candy on Toronto radio station 1010, News 1010, for their post-game show. Things were different back then. But all John Candy did was show up. Do you know what I mean? He didn't do anything, from what I could tell. And by the way, if you're John Candy, that's enough. He doesn't need to do much more than that. That guy's 6'3", is the size of a Coke machine. Right? Just laugh, ha. You shake some hands, take some pictures, smoke a stogie, call it a day. Do you think that's what Victor Cui's doing? Victor Cui is running every aspect of the outfit, every aspect. Do you honestly think it was somebody other than Victor Cui whose idea it was to have a stand with Ukraine night, or to get Warren Moon and Paul Coffey to shoot videos promoting the game? This is all Victor. And I look at some of the other presidents, just, huh? Like the Rider Pre-Season game on Tuesday, 6,000 people, as Lynch said to me on the phone. They said, 12,000, yeah, right. But then they send out and ads for the home opener. Be there when it counts. So I guess tonight doesn't count for the Edmonton Elks. There's going to be 32,000 plus people there. Like, let's get with it. Wakey, wakey. And that's why I'm happy doing what I'm doing and they can do what they're doing, because I don't agree with the direction. No. Trent in Norway. I'm just going to ring the bell. Trent in Norway says, Norway here. Congratulations on the show's anniversary. Even if you're in Florida, Rod, it still feels like home in Saskatchewan. To me, may the Oilers come back when they get to Edmonton. Stay well. Are the Oilers done? What do you think?
No, they're not done. I think, they're going to play much better at home. I don't know that they're going to win the series. I mean, Colorado's so good. They have not seen a team like Colorado yet in these playoffs that can match them skill for skill at the highest end, and their defense is so much better and active. But they're not done. No, they're not done.
This is the coffee table talk that we do here. And by the way, John Lynch says the Oilers are done. They're done. They're done. Nelson says John Candy was doing those interviews flaunting the Argos. Yeah. Yes, I don't want to argue. What I'm saying is Victor Cui is running the show. John Candy was not. Showing up on the sidelines and doing interviews is not work. What Victor Cui's doing is work. John Candy was just being himself. And that's a job. That's a job. Wendell Clark is just himself with the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's a job. Lanny McDonald with the Calgary Flames is himself. Shows up. Man, what'd he say? He goes like 17 luxury suites before every Flames game. Addresses corporations before the game. It's not really work. Victor Cui is planning, strategic planning. From what I understand, handling staffing. Looks like he's running the social media. Like, John Candy wasn't doing that stuff, okay? From Kyra in the chat says, too bad you can't have a donut from Wadena Sask on National Donut Day. Well, I don't think I'm allowed in Wadena. Did we get a ruling on that? No, I'm not. Not a joke.
Spicy.
And that's okay. From Brandon Lewis on YouTube says, Rod, why are you in Florida now? Why not? From Arlen Bruce III, do you guys believe the altitude had something to do with the Oilers' loss in Colorado? I played in Colorado before in college, and it's a different breathing atmosphere, tough on the visiting team. If that's true, then we got a lot of problems, because 4 of these games are going to be played in Denver. 2 more. And if the Oilers can't win in Denver because of the air, I'm not willing to say it's not a factor. You know, I came from Calgary to South Florida. I was in Sask last week, and being on the treadmill here at Orange Theory, I almost coughed up a lung because I feel like it's a lot different going from the dry to the humid. Yeah. And that's not what Denver is. But I've never been to Denver other than the airport. And I know we would almost have to take a break. We have about 3 minutes here. But I know that the rink in Edmonton, because I've seen it, I've had an arena tour, they've got misters, psst, 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 shooting humidity into the rink in Edmonton. And they, whatever it was like $1 million or $2 million, they said to Kate's when they were building this rink. We need a humidifier in here. What's it cost? $2 million. Is it going to make McDavid play better? We think so. Do it. So, where are you on the altitude thing?
We've always heard that narrative that there's an advantage there. More home runs, in baseball, more advantage for the home team in football and hockey because of the breathing. So obviously there's something to it, but at this stage in the game, in hockey and in life and where we are in the world, if you're not ready for it, you don't have a chance. And, they would have gone in as early as they possibly could to get into Denver. Possibly, they would have went in a few days early. And between games, they'd go in right after the game, possibly. Whatever it takes to get, acclimated to the altitude. But no, once you strap them up and you play, it shouldn't make a big difference.
I don't think that it would, and I think about Vegas last year, who lives in one of the driest climates in America, went in and whipped the Avalanche's ass. And what were they down, 0-2 or 0-3? I think they were down 0-3 and came back 1-7, and nobody was talking about the altitude then. So I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying I'm not willing to necessarily go along with that just yet. Moose, I'll see you back here for overtime.
You bet.
I guess, as they say, excuses are for losers. And the Oilers aren't making excuses. I'm not saying they're losers, but it's yeah, but. I'll say it now, but last week at the Centennial Cup, because I've been around the block a couple of times, when I was talking to certain people, I don't want to out anybody, people in the community that own businesses that were dealing with some of the teams. And they were talking about the complaints that were coming in from some of the teams. And I said, let me guess, the teams that are complaining the most are the teams that aren't winning. They're like, yeah. Winning teams don't bitch. Scott Stanley, watching in St. Albert, Alberta, says, who the heck is John Lynch? See? John Lynch is the Hall of Fame broadcaster of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, now in retirement. And I talk to him regularly. We'll be back with Steven Stamp. We'll talk a little NLL when we return. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, live from South Florida, YouTube Live and 24-hour sports radio, streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, welcome back to the RP Show, everybody. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday, and before we jump into some NLL talk, got some breaking news. I just opened my emails, and I got one from the Toronto Argonauts that their game tonight against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, 1 of 4 CFL Pre-Season games, will be live streamed. It's an exclusive live stream from the Argonauts website. Go give them a follow on Twitter. Check out their website. All the information is there. Way to go, Toronto. Clearly the CFL changing some things because there's a doubleheader tonight that doesn't involve the Argos. It's Ottawa at Montreal, followed by Saskatchewan at BC, all on TSN. TSN 4 will have Game 1 of the NLL Finals on Saturday night. Colorado at Buffalo. Joining us to talk about it is Steven Stamp, our lacrosse insider from Lacrosse Link. And Stamper, here we are. The Bandits and the Mammoth for NLL supremacy. Did you see this matchup coming going into the season?
Not really. I think most people saw Buffalo as the favorite in the East. Toronto certainly gave them a good push, and that's not a big surprise. But Buffalo clearly was in the cards. Colorado, I don't think people realized that they were going to be as good or come through as well as they did. And then, Ryan Lee has a massive breakout season, broke the old record for assists in a season. Of course, Dane Smith broke it by even more, but still, a great season for them coming through, getting better as they go. And then Lee is out for the playoffs, and yet they still managed to score more goals per playoff game than they did in the regular season. So they're the surprise, but they're certainly a contender in this series. It's a legit series. It's not people were talking about the East Final was really the NLL Cup final. That is not the case, and Buffalo will admit that right off the bat.
Honestly, you follow it far closer than me, but I wouldn't even say that. There's just something about Colorado, and to be honest with you, full disclosure, when they knocked out Sask in the playoffs a couple of years ago in the semifinal, it would kind of knock the Rush into a tailspin they haven't come out of. We've had COVID in between, but Colorado, they're a very tough out.
They are, and they've got Dylan Ward between the pipes. And when you have him, of course, at the other end, you've got Matt Vince. I mean, this is a classic goalie matchup. But anytime you've got Dylan Ward playing in the net for you, you have a chance to win. You've got Eli McLaughlin who's playing amazing lacrosse. I mean, leading the playoffs in scoring. Connor Robinson, who was traded from Saskatchewan after he was a first-round pick, only scored 11 points in 11 games with Saskatchewan, goes to Colorado, scores 42 goals this season. You've got Joey Capito, scored probably the goal of the year last week. Unbelievable double spin, a 720 spinning behind the back, over the shoulder bounce shot. Unbelievable. They've got some stuff going for them for sure.
I got to ask you this. So TSN 4 has Game 1. There's a lot of things that we can get in here. Game 1 from the KeyBank Center in Buffalo. And then it's a game a weekend in a best of 3. TSN 4 has Game 1, ESPN+. This is not new, but explain the spacing of this series, if you don't mind. The league final is a best of 3, but it could go 3 weeks.
It could, and it's a decision the league has made, is to spread it out, is to not go. I mean, the other option, obviously, is put 2 games in one weekend, and they've decided they just don't want to do that. I can see the arguments on both sides. I mean, you get the excitement of the 2 games in a weekend, but yeah, do you want the series to end in one weekend? I don't know, but they have always gone with the spacing, have it 1 game per weekend, allow for the travel. I guess the other option, of course, for 2 years, what they did was when they did best of 3s, when they first brought them in, they had the mini game, right? So you'd play 2 games, and if they were split, you go to the immediate 10-game mini game, which I was not sure I was a fan of, and then I was at a couple in person. especially the Calgary at Rochester championship game that went to the mini gaming. I'll tell you, it was gimmicky, but man, was it exciting. But you spread the games out
I know.
weekends. Yeah.
I think even there was the threat of one in Saskatchewan a few years ago, and we're like, oh, this is exciting, but they didn't end up going to it. But I think, would you not agree that the league is saying we want each team, you've made it to the league finals, you should get at least one home game. That must be the thinking in this scheduling.
For sure. And I think the way you would do it otherwise, if you wanted to have two in a weekend, is maybe go the lower seeded team gets the home game first, and then you travel to the other team, you play the one game, and if you have to play a game 3, you're already in town and you stay there. But that takes away the advantage of being the higher seeded team and having the home game for game 1, right? And if you lose game 1 on the road, you're in a tough situation. Nobody's ever actually come back. I gotta have to go to the details, but I went through and figured it all out. And no, I don't think anybody's ever come back from losing a game 1 in an NLL best of 3 series in the playoffs and won in regular games. They have won in a mini game 3, but nobody's come back from losing game 1 and won the next 2 regular games. So, I think that's a lot to put on a team that was the higher seed.
Again, game 1 at KeyBank Center in Buffalo, Colorado at the Bandits Saturday night. TSN 4 in Canada, ESPN Plus here in the United States, and they go back to Denver next Saturday for game 2, game 3 if necessary, back in Buffalo. Stamper, you have news on the World Junior Lacrosse Championships. We were there last year, and they're in Winnipeg again this year. What can you tell us?
They're going to be back on TSN, which is very exciting. We're just talking about the games for the NLL being on TSN. And, of course, last year when we were in Winnipeg for the tournament with the Canada East, Canada West modified format because of the pandemic, that marked the return of lacrosse to TSN, Canada's sports leader, right? And it was exciting. Over 150,000 viewers tuned into that series. And this year, of course, it'll be back with full roster of teams. You've got Canada, the U.S., Haudenosaunee, Poland, Israel, and Australia all taking part. So back to the way it was before the pandemic. It'll be on TSN, over the air, and streaming. And it's very exciting to see that kind of return. And there's going to be a lot more coverage, obviously, this year when it's not just 3 games.
Well, it is Canada's national sport, and I got to ask you, how have the NLL games on TSN and ESPN Plus gone over as far as you know in terms of ratings? I mean, we all see them on. That's what got me into the NLL back in the 90s because it was on TV. If it's on, we're going to watch it. What's the reaction been from what you know?
It's generally been pretty positive. There have been challenges with some of the broadcasts and things, but there was a big thing in the last game in San Diego where they cut to break as there was going to be a penalty shot. They came back, didn't say there was going to be a penalty shot. People didn't know, and then they didn't have it on air, that's a big mess up. So there have been issues, but I think overall the reception's been good. They don't really release numbers, so you don't get the exact specifics, but generally it's gone well. People are excited, and you can see, and like you said, that's how you get into it. That's how new people get into it. Streaming is great. But if you have a pay-per-view streaming like the NLL did for years, you're not bringing new fans in because people aren't going to be like, there's this lacrosse game on I haven't seen. Yeah, I'll get a $40 membership and go watch it. You see it when it's live and free, and you get hooked. And it's such a great game, as you've pointed out, right? It draws you in. So it's going well. There's work to be done, progress to be made, but it's going very well.
Good to hear. Stamper, thanks for the visit. Have a great weekend and enjoy the finals.
Thanks so much. Looking forward to it. Lots more to share in the coming weeks, I'm sure.
Outstanding. Stephen Stamp, our lacrosse insider from Lacrosse Link, joining us from Ontario. We'll be back with Moose in overtime. One more segment for the week. Taco time. Viewer takeover coming up in OT. You are watching the RP Show. We're on the Game Plus television network across all 10 provinces and 31 U.S. states. And also YouTube Live and live streaming 24 hours right now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to The Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Hello, everybody. By the way, yes, overtime is for the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and the Stanley Cup playoffs. And it's Taco Time Viewer Takeover, or as Johnny Orton, Milestone, Saskatchewan, says, Taco Time. Real food, real value, real flavor, Taco Time. As we bring the Moose in on National Donut Day. Hey, Moose, are you still in a good mood? Are you still feeling great?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. Me too. I want to hit up the text line. I'll tell everybody the number you've got. Let me check the time. About 7.5 minutes to fire us a message here at Mission Control, 902-518-3033. Anything that's on your mind. I know it's mind-blowing, but you can pick up the phone, text the guy right on the screen that you're watching, and he may respond to you if your comment isn't too idiotic. You know, talking with Stamper there, it was interesting. He's like, hey, streaming's fine, but if you pay for it, that could be a problem, and you're not going to attract new fans. And the fact of the matter is TV is where it's at, and we're very appreciative, obviously, of Game Plus having us on every day, noon to 2 Eastern, and at night, 10 p.m. Pacific. But we won't go too far into that, but we are. But there's so many things going on. I just mentioned the Argos and the the Argos and the Ticats. I don't know if you saw that. The Argos announcing that tonight's game will be streamed. and that will be free. That's very important. That's what I wanted to get into here with you, Moose. But let me just look at tonight's Sports on Tap for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. And I know they're all watching at the Tap right now. And also Aspen Links Golf. Hello, everybody. NHL tonight, Eastern Conference Finals, Game 2. Tampa Bay at the New York Rangers. Rangers up 1-0. Oh, I can't wait for that one. I did a little digging into the other major junior hockey leagues, Moose. Now, the Western Hockey League final opens tonight. Seattle at Edmonton, Game 1, Rogers Arena. Whatever they call it, Rogers Place, I think. Seattle at Edmonton. The OHL final opens tonight for our Ontario viewers. It's Windsor at Hamilton. Windsor at Hamilton. Spitfires versus the Bulldogs. Glad the show's almost up. And the Q final opens tomorrow. Shawinigan at Charlottetown. So that's Major Junior. It's down to the final 6 to get to the Memorial Cup. 7, including the host team, St. John. We've been mentioning the 4 CFL games all day, and you can vote right now in our poll for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, which is the most intriguing CFL game tonight. It's a runaway battle between the 2 West Division teams, as I see. Major League Baseball tonight, Twins at the Blue Jays, 7:07 Eastern. There's a couple of CEBL games tonight, Newfoundland's playing. But I guess, Darren, I wonder what you think, as the guy who's been behind some of these deals, went into the fact that the Argos and the Ticats are live streaming the game tonight, that the Argos would announce it. I got it via an email here moments ago. Something must have changed, Moose, that TSN has released the rights to this game, unless they're using a TSN crew. Do we have Moose? Is he there? I'm sorry.
No.
Here we go. Thanks. What do you think? What do you think happened?
Well,
Thanks,
I don't think
guys.
it's an issue about TSN and the rights. I really don't. I think, if a team went to TSN and said, we want to stream our game, and TSN would say, okay, guys, do we want to broadcast this on television or not? They'd say no. They'd have no issues releasing the streaming rights for a preseason game. It's just the teams don't want to spend the money to put on a quality production. So I'm really curious to see what type of production the Argos are going to put on tonight. And this is them or a production partner that wants to, put themselves on the map and do this as a showcase piece for their business, coming to the table to put this on for the fans and see what type of appetite there is. So I'm curious on a couple of things. What's the audience going to look like? What's the quality of the stream going to look like? And see how it goes tonight.
Well, some years ago, I want to say the last year in Taylor Field, 2016, the Riders did a live stream. 2 of my dearest friends broadcasted. Dan Plaster called the play-by-play and Luke Mullender the color, and it was as good a broadcast as you're going to find anywhere in pro football. I don't know what went in behind it. I don't know why it didn't continue. I just knew that they did a great job, and there were tens of thousands of people watching the live stream. So, and then it never happened again. But again, I don't get into that. I stay in my lane. You know what I'm saying? That's why I asked you what you would know about that. And I don't know what's going on now. All I knew was there was no live streams, and now there is. So I just wondered if somebody, threw a fit, somebody wrote a check. I don't know. Paul Drouin is watching. The infamous Paul. He says, happy anniversary to our whole team. Thank you, Paul. Today is our 3-year birthday of being alive as Canada's favorite daytime sports and entertainment talk show. Kyrando on YouTube says, love to see you doing well, Rod. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. I love doing well, too. From Ryan in Toronto, Ryan H. says, great show as always. Happy 3rd and all the best into year 4. Looking forward to it. Paul Drouin says, is it IKS? Paul wants to know if IKS is streaming the Argos and Ticats game tonight. Well, Paul, if you don't know, nobody knows. Connor in Yorkton says, thank God CFL is back. Yeah. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the Riders did a live stream of a Stamp Rider preseason game. That's the one I'm talking about. But, of course, me being the radio broadcaster at the time, no other broadcast exists. We can't talk about anybody else. Last minute of play in the RP show this week. You get it, Moose. You know how it is. It's all just silly, and I don't like to play in this. I don't like to play in this sandbox. I'm not a child. So, do you think that by 7 p.m. Mountain tonight they'll get that Elks Stamps game up on a live stream? Now that would be a trick, as my mom would say. I'd like to see that.
That would be pretty great. If it's not on TV and they haven't announced it yet, it's not happening. But it would be great if it did.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, the Argos just emailed me and said we got the live stream, promote it. So never say never. Okay, Moose, we'll see you Monday. You have a great week, okay?
Okay, have a great weekend, everybody.
I lost my pen, so here goes the bell. See you Monday, everybody.
Through the
Noon
window.
Eastern on Game Plus. You screwed up, Clark.
How about that? Oh, good one, Rod. Spicy. Bob's your uncle. Hot take. I like it. LFG. Approved. Let's go. Right on. Bingo. Oh, no. How about that?